Hi guys, welcome to today's video, and today we're going to be looking at some tuck spots in Sea of Thieves. Now, to quickly explain what tuck spots are, or what tucking is the art of hiding on another player or another group's ship. And there are a few ways to do it, and there are quite a lot of spots to do it in, so today we're going to be going over those and showing you how to do it. But quickly before we do that, I'm going to show you how to get the tuck emote if you don't already have it. What you want to do is come into the Emporium, speak to the vendor, and go to the pirate section, and then find the hide and seek bundle. Once you click in there, you'll see the hide emote. Now that, like I said, is the only one that's free in there, so it's easy to find. You can get the other ones, and the lying down one's pretty good as well, but really for what we're doing, you only need the hide emote. Once you've got that, head to your ship and go to the vanity chest. Go along to your emotes and then equip it. Now make sure you equip it on the first wheel, the first like emote page, so that's easy to get to, so you can do it in a hurry if you have to. Once you have the emote equipped, give it a quick test run, make sure that you can actually do the emote. And like you see here, it lets you lie down. Now when you're lying down like this and it's tucking your legs in and your head in, it also means that people on other crews cannot see your name, so your name doesn't pop up. The origin of the name tucking comes from tucking your head into items so your name wouldn't pop up when you use the sleep emote. That was the original way of doing this, but they've since added in this emote that you can tuck without having to do that. So what we're going to do now is go through each ship and show you the different tuck spots on each ship. Starting off with the sloop. We'll start from top to bottom, so the first one we'll go for is the anchor tuck. Now the anchor tuck is not a brilliant one for a long period tuck. It's quite good for a short one if you're having to get on a boat quickly and just get on it without being seen, before then adjusting to a more permanent position. But yeah, it's a handy one to have, and inexperienced players generally won't find you here. But like I say, it's not somewhere you want to spend a long time. So the next one we're going to go to is the canopy tuck. This is the most popular one. It's the one that I used probably the most regular. And as you can see, you almost completely disappear while you're here. You can't really see me unless you're looking really hard. You can see my feet sticking out from certain angles. But for someone on the boat looking for you, it's very, very hard to find that position. You can do it over here on the other side as well. Just be careful you don't fall off. What you're looking to do is get yourself walk into the wood. Don't try and jump onto the spot, walk into the spot and you'll go through the wood, lie down. Now this side's not great, it's kind of hard to find a good angle where there isn't a part of me sticking out. My feet are out there, and if I go around here my feet are still out, so it's hard to find it. If I try and turn around, my head sticks out from the other side, so it's not the best side to do it on. The other side is far better, just because the position where how you lie down, how the emote works. This side over here is far better. That you can see there's not really any of me shown when I do it right, and it's very, very unnoticeable. Anyway, we'll jump down to the front end of the ship, still on the top deck. Then the next one we're going to do is a cannon tuck. Again, quite common. Not all people check for them. It's not one that people would instinctively look for. I would recommend moving the cannon back the way a little bit, like I just done there. And tuck yourself in. You can't be seen from the top end of the ship at all. You can do it on the other side as well. I won't move the cannon this time round just to show you what it looks like without moving it. It is a good spot, but experienced players will check it, but the least experienced ones won't. There's not a lot of reason for people to go to the front end of the ship unless they're using the harpoons, so you're not going to get caught there very often. The next one we'll do is the crow's nest, and this is the same in all three different types of ships. Once you're up here, you want to position yourself looking out to sea and get your back against the post and just tuck yourself in. I have spent many hours up here with people coming up and checking and not seeing me. They'll walk over me, they'll jump over me. Sometimes you will get caught. That's the same for every tuck spot, but that one's, yeah, pretty good. Come down to the middle deck, and you tuck in behind the table here. Now make sure you're at a good flush angle, so your back is going in a straight line along towards the stairs. It looks a bit more natural, rather than sticking yourself at an angle. Again, more experienced players will find you here, but I've spent a lot of time tucked there and people haven't found me. Another sort of last minute emergency one, behind the table. I wouldn't recommend staying here because you can be seen through the underside of the table. Anyone coming up from the bottom deck will see you, but it is good in a sort of a last minute emergency. Moving down to the bottom deck, just behind the stairs here, is a good spot. I've used it quite a lot as well. Don't generally get found here very often. It's not one people check, because I think people think that because it's a natural spot to walk past and you would see it, they won't check it, but they're kind of obvious when I'm showing you them now, but when you're not looking for them, you don't notice them. Behind the water barrel here is another good spot. Again, there's not a lot of reason for people to go beyond the water barrel, so they won't usually check it. Another one at the front end of the ship. Turn the light off to make sure you're not getting shone on. Just a little bit more extra cover. And behind the barrel here, make sure you adjust yourself so you get in a straight line along with the barrels. Looks more natural, fitting in with the environment. There we go, that's a better one there. And yeah, it's a good spot. It's not great, reading the bottom deck is not great for information. You won't find out a lot about where people are, or where they're going, or where they're heading. But it's good for not getting caught. Over here is kind of a questionable one. I have friends that use this one. I'd rather not use it. I've been caught here before, and I've had friends get caught here before. Although they do insist that it works. But yeah, it's another spot there. Next to the tankard fill barrel is another good spot. No one usually goes over here. There's no reason to go over here. So yeah, it's a good one. You can generally spend a long time without getting caught in here. You don't even get holes on that side of the ship either, so there's no reason for people to go over there and accidentally see you. So anyway, that's it for the sloop. And what we'll do is I'll switch server quickly and hop into my brig. So here we are on the brig. The brig's got a lot more spots on it. The brig's harder to tuck on, I think, for the top deck than the sloop. However, there are some good spots. So we'll go down to the front here and have the front sort of pillar tuck. Good for information. Again, like the sloop, there's not a lot of reason for people to come up to the front of the ship unless they're using the harpoon. Unfortunately, if they're using the harpoon, the odds are you will get caught here. I have managed to do it without getting caught with people using the harpoon, but it's quite rare. Same as every other ship, the cannon tuck is also good. It's good up here because it's right next to the anchor, so if you need to pop off their anchor, if your ship's catching up on them, it's a good place to be. That you can just jump out, hit the anchor, and you've got them stopped. Heading down to the bottom deck, because there isn't a lot in the top deck. The first one we've got down below is the quest table tuck. It's a good spot. It's good being next to the quest table. Lets you know if they've finished their quest, especially if they're on an Athena. It lets you know that they've now got the chest on them, so it's a good spot to be in for that. Unfortunately, people do check it quite a lot, and they generally put their loot up this end of the ship, so they will be around that area quite a lot. So it's got its pros and cons. Another one that's not used very often is right here next to the brig. It's between the brig and these barrels. It doesn't get checked very often, but you can be accidentally seen pretty easily if people are running around doing some cooking or whatever. You can accidentally see you, but it's not a spot people usually check. Like the sloop, we have the water barrel tuck. Again, I wouldn't really recommend it on the brig, just simply because of the position that it's in. Anyone going to use the barrel will instantly see you. But again, it's good in an emergency. This spot here, a lot of people swear by it, but honestly, I don't like it, simply because if you're on a PvE style ship, if you're tucking on a PvE, really hardcore PvE style crew, they'll be cooking a lot and they'll come down by here. Over here by the map table is my favourite spot. Again, gives you a lot of information because you can see the map, you can see not only where they are but where they plan to go. You can also turn the lamp off as well to give yourself a bit of extra cover. And you can spend a whole quest here. If they've got holes, it's the only really reason they would accidentally find you, if they get holes at the front of their ship. Other than that, it's not, it's a good spot. You can tuck on the other side, opposite side. I prefer not to though, simply because if you look at the barrels, there's an extra barrel on that side, so it's not, they stick out a little bit more. You can also hide behind the table. Again, it's good in a sort of quick, if someone's chasing you around and you're trying to hide away from them, or if someone's coming down below deck quickly, you want to jump behind just to get a quick hide, but it's not somewhere you want to spend a full tuck. If you come up this side, up by the stairs, again, it's quite a good spot. No one really generally checks it. Only the downside is if they're getting cannonballs and they're coming back up the stairs, they might accidentally see you. Depending, again, a lot of this depends on the ship skin they're using as well. Also behind the stairs, just the same, wrap yourself around the sort of frame of the frame of, it's not a doorway, but the archway. And yeah, that's another good spot. So that's really it for the brig. And we'll move on to the galleon here. The galleon is my favourite to tuck on because there's a lot of spots. There's a lot to go on the galleon. Like before, we'll start up on the top. So we've got the outer tuck at the back here, which is quite a good spot. No one ever really checks it. It used to be really popular and people stopped using it, so people stop checking it now. So we jump out here and you're aiming for that little notch that's on the outside. Don't land on the notch, just next to it. Tuck yourself in and it just kind of fits pretty naturally. The only way you really get seen here is if people are getting off and on the boat, they might look back along it, but other than that, you're not going to get seen from people on the ship unless they, for some reason, decide to check that tuck spot, which, like I say, it's not checked very often. So another one at the back here is one you wouldn't spend the full tuck doing, but it's good in a quick need to hide if someone's getting back on their boat. It's behind the pillar here. Like I say, I wouldn't spend a full tuck here because you will get caught, but it's good for a quick flash moment of need to hide. Another good one where you can spend a full mission is behind the wheel. People have started checking it a little bit more, simply because of the popularity of it. I know Summit and Pace and all that use this one quite a lot, so obviously it's got a bit more interest in it. So people do check it, but it is a great spot. You get a lot of information, you can see where you're going, you can see who's around, other ships around and things like that, so it's a good spot to be able to pass on information to your crew. Moving down, you can do the cannons just the same as you can on all the other ships, and again it's handy, the same as the brig, it's right next to the anchor, so it's good for that. You can just quickly jump up and grab the anchor. The other outer one you've got here is just below the cannons. People don't generally check it anymore. It used to be really popular, similar to the ones at the top end. People don't use them anymore, so people don't check them anymore. So it's a good spot, especially for end game. If the crew you're tucking on don't have a reason to get off their boat again, it's a good one. It's a good one because there's no reason for them to check it. If you come to the front of the ship, another outer one is again is right here on this bit of wood. Depending on which way you turn yourself, your head will stick out or your feet will stick out. So if you turn yourself out towards the sea, your head will tuck in, it looks a little bit better. Especially if the ship's sort of decked out in a dark skin, you won't really get seen here. And it's not one that people generally check. You can spend a full tuck here if you wanted to. Moving into the captain's quarters, we have the infamous chair tuck, again made famous by Summit and Pace. I know Pace used it before Summit and he kind of taught Summit it, but Summit kind of brought it into popularity and made it a bit more well known. It is one you will get, it depends on the situation, but people do check it quite frequently. You can spend a full tuck here just the same, but it does get checked quite a lot. Come out to the back porch here, and you've got the sort of corner tuck in the back side. You can do these tucks on both sides of the porch. You come around back here to the window, and you can do the same in the corner here. I don't usually like this side in case they're coming out to use their rowboat. I usually like come around here to this side, and what's good about it is you can look right through the window on through the door, and you can see anyone going up the crow's nest. So if you're tucking on a fort, you can see if they're putting the mega barrel up pretty easily. If they're going to put it up or if they're going to put it down below deck, you'll know. Round here again on the outer side. These ones are good because they give you information for people coming back and forward onto their boat. The downside is that you can be seen from off the boat if someone's just happened to be looking towards the ship while you're tucking. Down to the middle deck, and you've got the ammo box tuck. It's not actually on the ammo box, but it's the pillar next to it. Tuck in here. Again, there's not a lot of reason for people to come here unless they just grab an ammo, and when they're doing that, unless they're in a fight with people on their boat, they won't really be paying much attention. Over here by the barrels, it used to be a very good spot until they moved the pet thing in here, which kind of made it a little bit rubbish. You can still do it, but it's just not as good as it used to be. Under here, behind the stairs, by these barrels, another good spot. People don't generally check it very often. You kind of fit very naturally into that little corner there. It looks very natural. It doesn't look out of place. Moving down, again, you've got the water barrel tuck. I wouldn't recommend it on here because people will be passing it quite frequently. Just because they need to go past to get to their cannonball barrel and go to the bottom deck to repair. That's really it. There's one more here just by this pillar. Again, it depends on how much attention they're paying. If they're coming up from repairing the bottom deck, they might see you. It does fit very naturally though, looks pretty good. Especially if you put the light off, you can tuck in and sort of you're very unnoticeable. So yeah, it's a good spot, but there's not a lot of information to be gained from there. You can't really tell what's going on around about you. Moving into the bottom deck, you've got behind the stairs. It's not checked very often, however, if someone comes down to repair, because this is quite a common spot for holes, you can get found. Same on the other side. You can tuck behind all the barrels on the bottom deck, but generally the most popular one is down the bottom right hand corner here, behind this barrel here. Again, the only really reason for it to come down is to repair. And Usually, if they're repairing, there's water covering you, so it's quite good in that sense. Another one here in behind these barrels in the middle, and you can do it on both sides. Again, it works pretty well. These spots here have become sort of the panic tuck spots. So if you've been found, people generally try them as a last resort. But if you want to get a tuck on and be safe for a whole tuck, I would do this one straight away if you're not bothered about getting information, because there's not really a lot of reason for people to check down here, and it's not known as a common spot. Anyway, that's all my spots for the 3 different ships. Let me know in the comments below if I've missed any. If you want any advice on tucking or anything like that, hit me up on Twitch. I'll be streaming fairly regularly, mostly on Sea of Thieves. So yeah, feel free to join, come and chat to me, and tell me what you think. If you've found some spots you can show me as well, that'd be cool. And that's it, guys. See ya.